Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Happy AF. This is episode 5. I'm Maxine.
I'm Isabelle, and I'm always happy as fuck.
Yeah, we're happy as fuck, alcohol free. We are having such a good time doing this. Like, first of all, and I just want to say thank you to everybody who's listening. We are so moved by how you're jumping on board with these two newbies who are just doing this kind of on the fly. Every time I watch an episode, though, I'm like, okay, we're learning, we're growing.
On the fly?
No, sorry, 100% on the fly. 100% on the fly. I know. We joke about how someday we're going to have a crew and it's not going to be you and me and Andrew like going, no, hit that button. No, you hit that button. Okay,
Right.
turn the light on.
There's a camera that went off.
But you're listening and you're sharing, and we are so grateful, and we're happy to be on this journey with you. And today we're going to talk about New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. Hence listen, here's what I want to do. We're going to start the episodes now by like on the red carpet. We would be like, hey, what are you drinking? What are you wearing? So let's start with what are we drinking?
Oh, I love that.
We're like in festive freaking party mood. And this is, so you and I have really different tastes when it comes to NAs.
We do.
And this one 100% agreed upon.
Yes,
like
this is
fully.
French Bloom. And obviously you can't call it a champagne because only if you're made in Champagne, you can call it champagne.
Yes.
But it's actually, if I'm not mistaken, it is made in Champagne because it's from the Tattinger with Tattinger.
It's from the Tattinger family.
And it's the wives of.
Yes.
So they make a champagne and they remove the alcohol.
Yeah, it's de-alcoholized.
It's de-alcoholized, and they make a rosé, which we're having today. They make a Blanc de Blanc, and they make a cuvée.
Oh, the cuvée.
It's really delicious, very yeasty, but very delicious, and a very sexy bottle.
Yes.
And I don't like when there's a lot of sweetness or residual sugar, and this has none. It's dry.
Well, there's no added sugar. Look at that.
It's very well made.
You've opened one or two of those in your life.
Listen, man, I can do that like drunk as a fucking sailor. And without spilling one drop. I'm also cheap.
This truly is. So this is our Liquid Joy segment, remember? And okay, so this is French Bloom. Here's the thing about me. I think you probably know this. I don't know. Do you know this? I'm a total and utter Francophile. Like,
yes, you are.
Yes,
I've noticed that.
I am. So honest to God, if you put the word French in front of anything, I will buy it.
You're sold.
I will buy it. Like, I mean, it really doesn't matter because the French just do. Look, I'm a super, super proud Irish woman, and I would never choose to be any other nationality.
But they do certain things well.
But listen to me. If I came back in another life, I am a chic, sophisticated Parisian woman. Because everything, I look at French everything, and I'm like, you just nail it. Food, wine, fashion, cheese, skincare, makeup, clothes, like everything.
But interesting you'd say that. I find as though I agree with you 100% on the French women.
Yes.
But the Frenchmen don't got it. They don't got it. No, they don't.
Okay.
They're not that good looking.
I have no experience with French
and
men.
They smell often. And they're macho. And they don't. Some of them dress well, but a lot of them don't. And often they're skinny fat. And no, the French women have got it, but the Frenchmen, they're still mama's boys. They don't got it.
Oh, I feel like Frenchmen and Irishmen have a lot in common in that case.
Cheers to the French women, man.
Here's to the French women.
And
here's
the French women are French Bloom.
Here's to the French everything. And I don't know, Macron, I mean,
you like him?
I mean, I loved his speech the other day about social media.
I don't listen to news anymore.
Yeah. Anyway, Ching Ching, French Bloom from the Tattinger family.
Oh, yeah, this is so good. By the way, everyone I know that has had that, and alcohol people included, all have said, I can drink that.
I can drink that.
And when you give them NA wines, they compare it right away to wine because they're having but the champagne flies right away.
It really does. And this is, to me, this is the tippity top. And also, I just read, or, the algorithm fed me this on social media the other day. Vogue just called this the #1 non-alcoholic champagne in the world.
They did?
Yes.
We're going to feature another one that I think is really good. Like next time we won't
but this is our focus today.
It's a very
we
good
absolutely
one.
love this. And like I said, we have different palates when it comes to the NAs, and you and I 100% love this. I mean, I will be drinking this for the rest of my life.
Like, yes, and by the way, speaking of which, Women of French Bloom, if you ever hear this episode, we'll gladly go meet with you. We're big fans. Love it.
Oh,
seriously.
yes. Well, listen, this is going to happen. This is going to happen.
Man, cheers.
We're going to meet The Women of French
Yeah,
Moon.
when we do our Netflix special, and it's going to be called Designated Drivers.
Yeah, exactly. And we're on the road like Conan O'Brien. And
Right.
yeah.
And by the way, I would like to make correct an errata from the last episode. And an errata, it's like when you do knitting and then they put out a pattern and they realize they made a mistake. So not that I made a mistake, but I made an omission. And I realized it this morning when I was taking my shower, and it is about non-alcohol stuff. Remember my story last episode about one of my worst hangover in London?
Yes.
Okay.
Before you were meeting your mother-in-law.
Right, correct.
Yes.
And I omitted, and I realized today, I never realized that till today, that, I'm like, I didn't have rock bottom. The worst I've ever done was fall off a bar stool. Nothing wrong with my drinking career. Well, we had couple of friends there that night, and one of which I knew since I'm like 22, a man and a woman, and I've never heard of them since. We were supposed to have brunch with them the following week. I called them. They didn't return my call. I didn't think anything of it because I was always drunk. And it's been like 25 years. I invited them to my wedding and come. I never heard of them. And it was starting that night.
So you did something
that night. So I do
night.
have skeletons in my closet.
So God only knows. Listen.
I don't know what the fuck I said.
Names? Maybe
I can't even say. I'm too embarrassed. Okay, wow. Mathieu and Anne is all I'm going to say.
So if Mathieu and Anne are ever watching this, listen. Isabelle has something to say.
I don't really want to know what I said or did, but whatever that was, I'm so super sorry.
Okay, I love that. 25 years later, you made this recollection.
All these years, I was like, this asshole. We were such good friends in university. You never spoke to me again. I don't understand. They're such snobs. I was like creating all this stuff in my head for 25 years up till today. When I was thinking about this episode, and I was like, holy shit, that's the day they stopped talking to me. One of my worst hangover. Maybe there's a correlation.
Maybe. I wonder if we're ever going to find out. Oh,
well,
God,
you know where we live now. So.
Well, listen, here's my next question to you is, what are you wearing? Because it is so fucking fantastic. So I can't even stand it.
Actually, look.
Oh, and it jingles.
And this is not my boobies making this sound. It's actually my outfit.
Oh, God,
it
that's
jingles.
amazing.
So
you're like a walking disco ball.
Yeah, I should have worn my sunglasses. This is a lot of UV lights.
No, I need the sunglasses. I'm looking at you.
I know, right? Anthropology circa 2021, 2020. Oh, that's what it was. It was COVID. I've never worn it. And you're online and you're like us wearing the same PJs for like 6 days. And COVID, everybody's like, oh my God, I'm drinking so much more. And obviously I was going with the train. I was telling everyone, oh yeah, me too. But I was like, I'm not drinking a fucking drop more. I just finally have friends
who are drinking as much as me.
That can follow me. But
you have all raised yourselves up to my standard.
Right. So I'm like 5 a.m, like bored on the internet. It's COVID. I'm on Anthropology. And I saw that. And obviously I had no events to wear this. It's the middle of COVID.
You don't need an event. You wear it at home.
That's what I said. I was like, you know what? I'll just buy it. And maybe it'll make me happy.
Yes.
So now 5 years later is the first time I wear it.
Oh my gosh, you've never worn it before today?
There was never an event. I was always like, it's too much. My sister's been promoting me to wear it. And I put it on. She's like, man, it's cool.
You see, I am also of the school of thought that nothing is too much.
That's right.
If it's for you, like I have been called too much
my
whole life. It's like she's so extra. She's so too much.
What does that mean, being too much? I'm too much what?
Well, it's too much for the other person.
Right.
Really, it's really you're too small.
I was going to say, maybe you're not enough.
Yeah, you're not enough and I am me. Right. And sometimes that really like bothers a certain kind of person. But and for a lot of our lives, we're told to shrink down to fit in. And you get to a place in your life where you're like, fuck that. I went out for dinner with a friend the other night and I waltzed in my beautiful coat with like a big, collar. And then I took the coat off and I'm wearing this gorgeous shirt that I have that's like sheer with embroidery and I have heels and
fancy.
And it was a Tuesday night, but we hadn't seen each other in forever. And I took off my coat and I sat down and she went, ugh, I was totally going to wear my lovely coat and and she said, and my thought was, I guess, whatever, it's Tuesday in Vermont. It'll be weird to dress up. And I'm like,
know.
But did you want to? And she was like, I did. I'm like, okay. So let's just do what we want.
And not only that, it's like, to me, it's like my husband Brooks has impeccable taste. And he always like, let's say you go to
very suave.
Very dapper. And let's say you go to a wedding and you're like, oh, should I? Is that too fancy? He's always like, I'm wearing a tie. I'm wearing cufflinks. I'd rather be the only asshole that's overdressed than the guy underdressed because at least I feel good. And he's right. And it's a show of respect. Like you dressed up to go visit your friend on a Tuesday night in Manchester because your friend, you just said, I hadn't seen her in a long time. This was a nice big deal for me. And I wanted to come up with my best foot forward.
Right.
To me, that's like, hey man, I put myself together for you and for me. And I think it's a show of respect.
Well, and also I am all about be yourself.
Absolutely.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
I mean, I joke all the time. I'm like, I don't know. I may be wearing a ball gown to the event. And if I am, that is okay.
Right.
You don't have to match me.
Correct.
But don't judge me for like waltzing around in sequins.
Correct.
You know, I mean, sequins. But so I want to tell you what
and you're also all flashy
also in
and
sequins.
bright.
I'm also in sequins. And I am rocking what I'm calling the sequins and sweatpants look today. Because we walked over here in the snow.
Right.
This is a little sequin jacket from, I'm going to say, Banana Republic. And same thing, haven't been able to wear it very much. And, you know, what is it about New Year's Eve and sequins? It's because you want to sparkle, right? You want to shine.
Correct.
So I'm a fan of, let's say going into 2026, wear more sequins.
Just shine.
Let's just do more shiny
And on
things.
that's why I gave you the gold mouthwash.
Oh my gosh. I mean, I don't even know what I'm going to do with that, but we're gonna give it a try. I'm going to let you try it first.
Right, I'll try it first. If my teeth, so just
I'm like, it's going to turn my mouth
for people
gold.
that are listening, my husband is helping a business who's doing gold mouth products. Toothpaste with gold, a gold toothbrush. So I'm gonna try the toothpaste. If I still have teeth,
Yes.
I'll text
Okay.
you.
Yeah, I'm
try the
definitely letting you.
mouthwash.
I'm definitely letting
Because
you
it's not FDA approved or anything like
test that.
There's no certification. They just winged it. They're like, oh shit,
Let's put gold in
let's put
it.
some fucking gold in it. How bad can it be, right?
Well, and also people will buy anything, right? It's
Correct.
like, yeah, put gold in it. It's like me. If you put French in front of it, I'm buying it.
That's right.
So New Year's Eve, look, is it or is it not a massive either trigger or catalyst for over drinking,
Right.
catalysts for, you know, just going too far and then, you know, waking up on the first day of the new year laden with regrets.
Right.
Are you a New Year's person? Like what's New Year's for you?
I'm not. So I've had a couple of like, you know, you can't call yourself like a cool person or whatever. Not that I am, but when I was a kid, I like to think of myself as like, see my cool.
Just back up. First of all, that's way too self-deprecating. You are most definitely one of the coolest fucking women I've ever met in my life. And don't like, I'm not alone in that thought.
Right.
Okay?
No, but thank
You're
you.
just badass and cool.
Thank
and
you.
it emanates from every part of your body.
Well, wearing this is
go on.
emanating. But my point is like, so I did go to a few like New Year's Eve, like till 3 a.m, all that. You have to do that. It's a rite of passage. But personally, it's not my thing. I fucking hate it. Because here's the thing, even like when I was younger, like I started hating it a long time ago, like in my 20s. And here's why. You have all these, like, first of all, you have to wait till like 10 o'clock to have dinner. And I'm like, I'm fucking hungry. And if I'm eating at 7, I'm not just gonna have a nibble because it's like alcohol. You start eating, you're like, and you finish eating and then you're not hungry at 10. Right? So you have to wait like really late to eat. Then, especially living in New York City at the time, you go to the restaurant, the food sucks. Restaurants are normally
the worst night in the world.
Worst, they call it,
and Valentine's Day.
Yeah, they call it amateur night.
Amateur night,
right?
Absolutely.
And then there's no taxi. So first of all, finally you make it to dinner. The food sucks, service horrible, and then you're done with dinner. It's 11, and you actually don't want to stay, but you have to stay till midnight because you have to wait till the fucking bell. And it's always the worst weather. It's always like kind of rainy, snowy. It's never nice.
Yeah.
And then there's never any cabs, right? And you're wearing your cute outfit. You're freezing your ass off.
Well, you are now the Grinch that stole New Year's.
I don't like New Year's. Like, there's nothing about it that's redeeming. And I wouldn't drink and drive ever,
Yeah.
right? So there's the whole like anxiety of like, I need to get a cab. How am I going to get a cab? And then there's the anxiety of, I don't want to be up at 3, but then if there's no cab at 1, then I have to stay. I just fucking hate it. So I usually do nothing on New Year's Eve.
Wow.
Which I love. But I will say,
So
I mean,
you
I'll
and
make a nice
Brooks are
dinner.
like at home, just
Yeah, making a nice dinner. But I will say that I had a few memorable New Year's Eve hangovers. I mean, like one of which come to mind, so it's like, also, like I woke up with still the wig on my head, and I was in my like 40s, and we had to go buy a mattress in Macy's because they were having like the discounts,
big sale.
you know?
Yeah.
And you know, that was one of those that you show up and you think you still have the sweats, the hangover, and you think you're hangover, but you're still drunk.
Yeah.
And like, I remember like laying on one of the mattress, and Brooks was like, "That's it. You need to get up. You need to get up."
You're like, you're in the store. Get up, Isabelle.
And the guys at Macy's knew, like, he could tell. He's a New Yorker. He's like, these two are like so hungover. So that was. But you're a New Year's Eve person. You like it.
Listen, if you designate a day for a celebration, I am all in.
No matter what it is.
No matter, really and truly. I mean, I love a good celebration.
Even Easter.
Oh, what?
Easter's
hate
my
Easter.
favorite. We'll talk about. Oh my God!
Color palette of Easter alone.
Oh my God! I hate it. Pastels. Holy shit. Okay, that would be a separate. I have a deep hatred for Easter.
Oh my gosh! Listen,
we'll get to it in May
and March. This is how I love that our friendship came about. Because we are so similar in so many ways,
but
and then
so
we have
different.
So many different outlooks on things.
Envelope is different.
So listen, I love all celebrations. I love New Year's Eve. Similarly to you, I've had some, same as Christmas, same as everyone. I've had some that were really, really pretty terrible. I'm trying to think like good ones. So oh God, I remember the millennium. Do you remember your millennium New Year's?
Vaguely, yes. Now I
remember
do.
that. I was still living in London at the time, and I remember that one. And then the rest of them are just like general party ones. Some stick out in my mind. So before we moved to Vermont, Andrew's recording studio. So Andrew, everyone who's listening, is my husband. He's a music producer, an engineer, and songwriter, and my partner in everything that I do.
He's just a prodigy. And about everything he touches.
He really is. He really is. Yeah. He is. But combined with like the sweetest, kindest, nicest man you've ever met in the whole world.
Oh my God.
And we met obviously in New York City, and his recording studio was on 48th and Broadway. So
oh God.
Like 2 blocks
like
from where the ball drops.
Yes. Okay. I know exactly.
And when we met first, he told me, he was like, okay, we met in February. So, you know, we were actually engaged in the November of the year we met. Like it was a super fast situation.
Wow.
You know, as he says, when you know, you know.
Right.
And we celebrated New Year's that year, and he was like, "Oh, I have a party at my recording studio," and literally, it was the 13th floor. Or the 12th floor. You're not allowed to have 13th floor in some of those buildings, but it was the 13th floor. There's just no 13th button on the elevator, and you out on the wraparound terrace, you look at the ball dropping. Like it's like cool. Literally, you know, right there in front of you. And I would even loving New Year's, I was smart enough to know that you don't go anywhere near Midtown Manhattan on that day.
Hell.
And I lived in Hell's Kitchen my entire New York life, but over on the West Side.
Right. Okay.
So
More
9th
west.
Avenue.
Right.
You just don't go near Times Square.
Absolutely
so
not.
Andrew was like, well, I have to be there really early in the day to set everything up. And you come, and he said, you're going to, at every block that you try to cross in, you're stopped by a cop. Because people, I mean, I didn't even know this. People go into Times Square like the day before and pee into bottles.
Yuck, why?
Because they want to be close to the ball drop. This is a true thing.
Okay, people, for those of you that are not from New York, don't pee in a bottle to be close to the ball. It's not worth it. You're going to get a better view on the television.
So let me just tell you, the first New Year's Eve I did.
Pee in the bottle?
No, oh my God, no.
I can't imagine you. Okay, spread them wipes.
I mean, when you think about that, people have to do it in front of other people.
And that's like, you do that kind of shit if you're going to go on Mount Everest, not to see a fucking bottle
Not to see the ball drop in Times Square. Listen, no, you wouldn't have ever got me to Times Square on New Year's Eve if it wasn't for Andrew's studio.
I understand.
So, but sure enough, it took me what should be an 8-minute walk probably an hour because you're stopped at every corner. And we had a special invitation that had the address of the studio and a telephone number so that the cop would have to call and verify so that you weren't just cheating your way into Times Square.
Oh my God.
Instead of being like the other minions and waiting for 24 hours and peeing in a bottle. So anyway, we got there, and I have to say that night, I remember watching the ball drop from the roof and literally looking at Andrew and going, that was the most anticlimactic fucking experience.
So it's not even worth it.
I mean, it's
not that great.
I don't even feel like it's good on TV.
No, it's not.
Like, it's one of those things where I'm like, it's just been hyped up to a place where I'm like, fireworks are way more impressive.
And by the way, so since we're in a cancel culture kind of environment, so my dear friend Maxine here didn't mean to call you minions if you did pee in the bottle.
Are we not allowed to say minions?
You guys have definitely drank the Kool-Aid. You've drank the Kool-Aid, but we didn't mean that you were minions, really.
Oh, okay. Well, you know, isn't Minions based on the TV thing?
I'm just trying to be like a Gen Z and look like younger than my age by being politically correct.
But it's just about someone who follows a crowd, right?
Is that it?
Sheep.
Is that what a minion is?
Actually, I don't know. Now we're going to have to Google what does a minion mean. Anyway, this is why someday we're going to have a producing team. So while we're talking, someone's going to have done this research and piped in with the information.
But then it's not as fun.
No, but they'll be like, hey,
I would have never called my dad well endowed if we had a researcher.
No. That all happens. It's just we're given we're given up to the moment information. Fact checking.
Got it.
It's not a very popular thing these days. Fact checking.
No.
Here we go. Anyway, so that New Year's Eve was super, super anticlimactic. And then the other thing that blew my mind about that New Year's Eve was when the ball drops, we walked home back to our apartment. Maybe 45 minutes later, it was a ghost town. So the way it just empties out is just, it's insane. I would never, ever need to be anywhere near a ball dropping situation ever again.
And speaking of New Year's Eve and alcohol and the 10 o'clock dinner, this is a very good reason. Another good reason I didn't like New Year's Eve. I still don't. But I don't know if you have the same situation. But let's say you're like, okay, I have to wait till like 9, 10 o'clock to have dinner and you're hungry. And I was not going to start drinking at 10. I'm still going to start drinking at 2.
Right.
You were going to say 5.
You literally saw my mouth going for 5.
Yeah,
and you're like, no.
That's a nice answer. 2 in my case. So the thing, like even though like you just cultivate a buzz, in my case, I wouldn't be like falling over drunk by 10. Like by then I probably have like 6, 7 glasses of wine because you're pacing yourself because you're not eating. But when you get that, did you ever get that wine belly inside your stomach where there's no food that can suck it up?
Right.
Like that kind of wine buzz that it's too late and it's not a good buzz.
No.
It's like
because you've done it on an empty stomach.
Buzz.
Yeah.
And then there's no amount of food that can soak it up. And in my case, I couldn't also not stop drinking. Because then I would hit a weird low.
Yes.
So you have to keep drinking
to try and maintain the buzz.
Yeah, but you have that weird ass like empty stomach buzz that you can't take back, and a weird like sour stomach that nothing is gonna. It's just not like a yucky feeling. Whereas, so that's one of the reasons also I did not like New Year's Eve. Whereas, like if I drank,
the timing of when you eat.
And all the booze like before you can eat. And whereas, like let's say in the south of France of my in-laws, we would throw these epic parties after like picking grapes and stuff. And we would start drinking at 11 in the morning and stop at 2 in the morning, right? But I would never get that kind of uncomfortable drunk. I would just be drunk because you'd be eating all day.
Yeah.
So New Year's Eve did not have that advantage.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's like a shitty drunk.
And listen, it's like everything. We talk about this all the time. As you get older, your expectations of these celebrations changes because you what you want changes. When we moved to Vermont, the first couple of years, we used to have these dinner parties, which were amazing. And I would tell everybody, black tie, like get freaking dressed up. And I would make this gorgeous table that was all silver and sparkles. And then I would make a little dance floor in the other, in the great room of our house.
That sounds like fun.
And it was so much fun. And so that was great. We changed how we do the holidays during COVID, actually. I think that was the first time we did it, where we've been living, this year we'll be living 10 years in Vermont.
Oh, wow.
And, you know, I love Vermont so much. I can't ever imagine living anywhere else. I can't imagine raising kids anywhere else.
Right.
And I love it so much. But we have to be truthful. The winters are long.
I'm Canadian, so
well, you're okay.
I'm fine with
you're
that.
totally
Right.
used to it.
Yeah.
But for me, I definitely need, after having been here 5 or 6 years, I was like, okay, I need a little bit of sunshine right at the end of the year. So the first couple of years we were going to different places. Last year, for the first time, I went and fell in love with Miami.
I haven't been in years. Oh, that's right. You had quite of an interesting New Year's Eve there.
I had an amazing New Year's Eve there. I mean, interesting, highs and lows.
Right.
It was my first sober New Year's Eve. It was my first New Year's without alcohol. And the idea of going somewhere warm, we go the day after Christmas.
Right.
Because everybody wants to be home for Christmas Day.
Right.
And we go the day after Christmas, and then we come back like the 2nd or 3rd of January. So we spend the whole time down there. And, you know, we're big tennis players and my son's a big golfer. And so we get to do outdoor stuff that has been shut down in Vermont a couple of months ago.
Correct.
It's like those pastimes are over. So I fell in love with Miami. And yeah, oh God, my New Year's Eve story from last year was, I mean, everybody knows, a lot of people know about Hotel Fontainebleau, right? I mean, famous Miami landmark hotel, famous for New Year's Eve. I mean, they have the most extraordinary New Year's Eve parties there. And I was Googling what to do with kids, what to do with your teenagers. And, you know, they're not teenagers, they weren't, but they were close. Tweens. What to do with your tweens in Miami on New Year's. And it came up with this Hotel Fontainebleau. And I thought, oh my God, that's going to be outrageously difficult and expensive. But the hotel was doing a package for the families that were staying in the hotel. But you could buy, even if you weren't staying there, you could buy the package. So we bought it. It was extortionate. Like, it was ridiculous. Of course. It was so expensive. But Calvin Harris was the DJ. So I tell my tween daughter this, and she's like, oh, we have to go there. So I was like, all right, we got the family ticket, which meant you couldn't be down on the patio where the DJ is. Those are like $20,000 tables. Oh my God. Right? It's insane. And but we were up in this elevated area, and I actually paid extra to be at like the front of the family area to book a table, and it was a buffet. You're not going there for food. I understand. You know the food is going to be...
It's the experience.
It was the experience.
And the music.
The experience, and we were going for Calvin Harris. Like, we're like, this is going to be amazing. Anyway, I wrote to them afterwards, and they, you know, if anybody is listening, don't go to the Fontainebleau for New Year's Eve. It was the biggest shit show. Oh, shit. Money I will never, ever get back.
New Year's Eve, I'm telling you, New Year's Eve is a ripoff.
These guys, but listen, what the hell? It's an ultra luxury hotel.
I understand, but
let me tell you what they did wrong. It started off great. We arrive, we're all dressed up. Rebecca and I had like sparkly dresses on. We got a photo taken, and it looked good. They were taking us in this back alleyway. He was like, oh, you've got the VIP family ticket. We're going to take you back here. Anyway, they ended up having wristbands depending on the price of your ticket. Right. Somebody, can I say minion?
Please do. I was joking when I said that.
Somebody in their design department color-coded the wristbands with colors that were too fucking close to each other, so that in the dark, you couldn't tell the difference between...
Like fuchsia, pink, baby pink, old pink,
so there was a dark orange and a light orange that next to each other.
Like
it was so stupid. Somebody got paid to do that job.
Jesus Christ.
I was the one that helped them uncover their mistake, because I'm showing them my wristband, and we go up into our family area, and it is packed
with other orange-looking bracelets.
So I go back down to the front, and I said to the guy, so I'm sorry, there's no table up there for me and my family. And he was like, oh, well, it's a first come, first serve. I'm like, no. I reserved a table.
He did not wait. He did not say first come, first serve. I would have done the New Yorker shit.
He's like, once you get up there, oh, no.
I would have done Karen
my poor children,
on him.
I said to them, hey, Andrew, children, you're going to take a breather somewhere. Wow. Take a couple of laps, because mommy's got to deal with this shit right now.
I would have been pissed.
I said to the guy, I was like, I know it is not your pay grade. You go find me somebody who I can talk to about the ridiculousness of this.
Wow.
Anyway, 45 minutes.
If you had been drinking, you would have gone. You would have gone
crazier,
ape shit.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
But I was completely sober,
Right.
completely rational.
Good for you.
I ended up discovering their mistake. The manager came back and he was like, I said, look at the color of my wristband and look at the color of the wristband of other people in this area. And he was like, oh my God, they're not the same. I'm like, correct.
What the hell?
What the hell? And I was like, so what are you going to do now? And he's like, well, I can't ask those people to leave.
Oh, sure you can. Oh,
Nope.
sure you can.
No, sure you can't. They didn't do it. They jerry-rigged a table that we were like squished up against the side. It was an absolute disaster. And you know, when you pay for a night and New Year's Eve, this is the other thing I want to change. There needs to be non-alcoholic wristbands. I don't know how you would ever police that.
Right.
But when you pay $500 a person for an event that includes food and an open bar, I don't want the open bar.
Boozing. That's
So
right.
now I'm refusing to go to any of these
By the way,
open bar
I
parties.
know you can do that. That's very easy. You got a blue band, you got an orange band, and you got a red band.
No,
They're
but
all
I mean,
different.
how would you police me buying a non-alcoholic wristband and then being a liar and I go and drink the alcohol? Do you know
Because
what I mean?
if you're buying a non-alcoholic band, let's say it's white,
yeah, duh.
and you go to the bar and they're
That
like,
was
you have
dumb.
a fucking white, but it won't work if they're all like light orange, dark orange, medium orange.
So this is how
You know
bad
what I
it
mean?
was. Here's the icing on the cake. I'm like, guys, listen. And again, if I were drunk during all of this or
you would have
drinking,
gone. You would have gone like,
and I would have made it a shit show for everybody.
Bitch to the third.
Instead of that, I was the one that was like, guys, this is really disappointing.
Right.
This is not what we had planned. This is not what we paid for, by the way, on this one special night we're spending
Right.
together. But we're going to make the most of it because we're here now. So, oh my God. And then there was the absolute drunken.
Did you ask for a refund at least? Make a complaint?
They never, ever, ever, ever got back to me.
Oh, you need to ask Brooks. Is the best at that. That's a different conversation.
Okay, so I'll get Brooks on it. So we sit down at our table. We're, as expected, the food is mediocre at best.
Of course.
But we're waiting and we're like, well, now it's like, we got there at 8:30. Now it's like 10 o'clock. And I'm like, all right, well, Calvin Harris is going to be coming on soon. We're going to dance and it's going to have so much fun. Do you want to know what time Calvin Harris took the stage?
What time?
Pick a number.
Midnight?
11:50 fucking 9.
Jesus, it's in 1 minute. It's midnight. Like, what? Isn't it not supposed to warm you guys up before the big event?
No, there was some other guy warming us up. So the
Wow.
whole thing was such a massive letdown.
How long was he there for?
I don't know because we left.
Yeah,
like
because
at that
there's-
point it was like by 12:30 I was like over
You
it.
did
We
say
were-
it was a family event. They
Yes.
should know that family with kids don't necessarily stay up till 3.
No, and stay up to 3, but give us the headliner at least for 45
That's right.
minutes
Correct.
before midnight.
Right, absolutely.
So it was the biggest disaster.
Oh my
We
God.
get out, we forget about it. It's like whatever. I'm like, when we get back home, I'm going to write to Hotel Fontainebleau in a very calm manner and say, let's just talk about color coding.
Right.
Okay.
So let's talk about like easy
let's
stuff.
talk about the primary colors.
low-hanging fruit.
Let's just talk about red,
Wow.
yellow, green, blue.
That would be a good start.
Let's start with those. And your varying shades of orange didn't fucking work.
That's ridiculous.
It was crazy. So that was that New Year's Eve. However, what I will say was that New Year's Day was the day I quit alcohol forever.
Oh, that's right. But wait, you weren't drinking New Year's Eve, though.
No, I wasn't drinking, but I was still on my second round of 75 hard. So I had not committed
Got
to
it.
lifetime alcohol free. But I did that morning on the beach. So
Right.
Rebecca said to me, can we watch the sunrise? And we often do this when we're on vacation. She and I love to get up super early and
Yeah.
go watch the sunrise.
That's nice.
Now, this time, this was New Year's Day. She was like, can we go down to the beach in the morning? And I said, absolutely, I'll set an alarm. So, we've had 4 hours of sleep because we
Right.
got back from the party, go to bed, set the alarm to get up for the sunrise. And we walk down to the beach and it is so magical and beautiful, just the most glorious sunrise. Now, the beach is littered with garbage.
What's wrong with us in this country, right? Why do we do that?
It is littered. And there is, everywhere you look up and down the beach, groups of 20-somethings wasted out of their minds, still in their, haven't
Right.
gone to bed.
Right.
And
I can't say anything because I would have done that not on New Year's Eve because I don't like it, but on the,
listen, we've all had
at that
plenty of
age,
24-hour
right.
stints that is
but
not
they are a little bit sad. When you
Yeah,
think
and I
about
mean,
it.
for us, I don't care. Look at
Right.
you in your heyday,
Yeah.
fantastic. But it was the garbage all over
Oh,
the
the
place.
garbage is so
Bottles,
fucking
pizza
ugh.
boxes, and we look over. So we had an Airbnb, and we're actually on Key Biscayne, and we look over, and one of the caretakers from the
Right.
building is walking around. He's got all of these black bags all piled up, and I said to Rebecca, "Let's go get a black bag from this guy and
Right.
help him pick up the bottles." So we
I
do
thought you were
this.
gonna say
We're-
like you pick up cans and you pay your way to college, okay? Make yourself
This is
useful,
what you're gonna
kid.
do.
That cabin Iris cost me an arm and a leg. Come on.
Well, she's already a ski instructor.
Right.
She's gonna make bank. But we start picking up the bottles together, filling up these black bags, and it was one of those. It was a life-changing moment
No, it sounds super
because
sweet.
for me, I realized it was the first New Year's Day in 30 years where I wasn't some level of hungover.
Right.
Or groggy.
Just
Like
groggy. Yeah.
if you're drinking and go to bed and get no sleep,
You're
it is
icky.
not the same feeling
No.
as being just tired.
That's right.
Tired with the drinking.
It's not the same.
It's not the
No.
same. I can still do pretty much anything while I'm tired.
Yes.
Tired and hungover is everything is
It's just like
so much harder.
ugh, that
So I
sweat and-
realized watching the sunrise, I was like, this is the best. This is the best. And it was in that moment that I was like, I'm done. I am done with alcohol.
Right.
I had a great run and now it's over and I have no regrets, but I cannot wait for every New Year's Day to feel like this.
Right. Correct. No, I'm with you.
That was last New Year's Eve and New Year's
Wow.
Day. Yeah.
And did you ever have like those typical bad New Year's Day hangovers?
Oh my God.
Epic.
Epic. A couple of, I don't know why. I don't know if it's the same in Canada. It's definitely not the same in America. I learned that New Year's Day in Ireland is a really big celebration.
Oh, is it? No, it's not a
like
thing.
like a sit down
Right.
family. And I remember the first time I threw a New Year's Day brunch at my house,
Oh
and
my
I
God.
remember one of my friends going, "Why the fuck do you do this? We're all hung over from the night before." And I'm like, no, New Year's Day. It's like, it's a special and a beautiful, like a whole tablescape thing
Wow.
all over again on New Year's Day. And I cook a nice ham or a roast or something. And I realized then, I was like, oh, they don't do that in America. But I love New Year's Day. And I love New Year's Day now because I don't have a hangover.
It's something about quitting drinking that the mornings are so much better.
Yes.
For me, it's just when and I've told a lot of people that, when I was drinking, I thought I felt fine. I didn't think I didn't feel right. I thought I felt great. Most of the time. I mean, I had to take a lot of Pepsid AC. I was starting to have a lot of acid reflux, but I didn't care. I just did it. But when you quit for a while, you realize, well, maybe I wasn't feeling that great. I always had that kind of sweat, that hangover sweat.
It's the frame of reference. And I think it was
that's right. It's a frame of reference. That's right.
The last episode we were talking about this when you were like, oh my God, yeah. If you've been drinking, I talk about my first drink, I was 20, which is much older than most people start drinking.
Right.
But for me, there was 30 years where I didn't have this frame of reference.
And then
I didn't know
Right.
that, oh my God, 3, 4, 5, 6 months into being completely alcohol free, I've never been there before.
And plus,
except when I was pregnant, but then that's not the same.
Right. I've never been pregnant by choice. And so my frame of reference was, okay, I would drink 4 to 6, 7 glasses of wine a day, get up at 5 in the morning, work out. That was my normal.
Yeah.
So that was my normal.
But you were just doing it.
Right. So for me to think I feel bad, I had to have a wicked hangover. Something you went past the two bottles and change. Then you have an actual, I used to tell Brooks, so it would feel, when you take cold medicine and you're woozy, and that.
Yes,
horrible,
that groggy
feeling.
where your brain is just a little bit fuzzy.
And I hated that. Mine would be more than a little bit. And you're like, when you talk and you hear yourself talk and you're like, is my mouth moving? Have you ever had those kind of hangovers? And you're like,
or you hear yourself inside your head.
Yes, and you're like, can they tell that my body and my heads are not connected anymore?
Yeah.
My head is floating somewhere over there, my body's somewhere over there. Can the person tell? I hated that. Listen, I've been to meetings and business meetings in my 30s, not older. But when I first met Brooks, him and I, it was instantaneous love. unlike you, we got married 3 years later, but I gave him an ultimatum for a year. I was like, by September, such and such, if you haven't asked me, I'm kicking your ass to the curb. And everybody knew, so it was pretty funny. But the first 6 months we met, all we did, we'd go out to dinner. Obviously, there was a lot of sex involved, which was great. But
do you mean private time?
Yeah, a lot of private times. But we drank like fish, and we barely ate anything.
Didn't in there,
right? You go to dinner, right, and you share. This guy's still like 6 feet, almost 6 feet to 1, 200 pounds, and we would share green salad and have like 2 bottles of wine. That was like the first 6 months, right? So that first 6 months, a lot of my next day meetings, I would go meet him in DC, and I'd go, and I was like still drunk from. You can't absorb 2 bottles of wine on like a half a green salad, right?
No.
Anywho, so I don't miss that. I love since that. When you've removed so long from alcohol, like how fantastic your body feels, especially in the mornings, like you were saying.
That is the thing. It's like the waking up. I was saying this to someone the other day. It's like, the honeymoon. What did they call it? The honeymoon effect or the honeymoon phase. I remember when I moved to Vermont first, friends of mine in New York saying, oh my God, you're so in the Vermont honeymoon phase. Right. You're going to outgrow that. And I never have. Like, I'm still obsessed with Vermont. Every time we drive over the border, when we see that sign, like I make the kids cringe. They say, Mom, you're so cringe. But in the car, I'm like, yay, Vermont.
Same.
Love it, love it, love it. But the same thing with this alcohol-free living. I know from all of my reading that a lot of people have a roller coaster experience with the highs, and then they're like, "Oh God, I miss it," and then it's high. I have just lived on this euphoria, and it hits me in the morning.
The mornings, yes,
every morning. I'm like, whoa. Priscilla, our cohort on this podcast, who does all of our graphics and things, she was like, I just visualize you like busting open your drapes in the morning and sun shining in, and you're like, I'm like singing like
the song of music. No hills are lost.
No, good morning, good morning.
But it's funny. I was thinking about that on the way here. Like when I was reading the Quitlet, there's a lot of if you decide to quit drinking or to moderate, and you start like oftentimes we're going to read or listen to podcasts because you need an out. Like you need other people that are living through what you're living, and so it creates expectations. And you're right. Like if some people will say like, oh, you'll feel happy all the time. And then someone's like, why am I not feeling this way? In my case, and the euphoria is definitely more in the morning, but in my case, I would read a lot of people losing a lot of weight. Obviously, I was not hoping to do that, but they would say, oh, and my friends saw me, like a lot of Quitlets would say, and everybody was commenting how much I look 10 years younger, or I look so much more healthier. And I so wanted that for myself. I so wanted everybody to tell me, and not a fucking person in a year and a half has ever said, you look so much younger, your skin is so much brighter. So even like I would take it out of Brooks. Hey, Brooks, do I look younger to you? What? Do I like, look at me. Do you think I look, it's been 6 months, I look younger? And be like, yeah, really? Like how many years? How many years would you say,
like, it's the worst question to ask your husband because they're terrified about the wrong answer. Well, here's the thing. I would have been that person. But when I met you, you'd already quit drinking.
Right,
so I only know you alcohol-free.
But I don't think that's even it. I think like everybody experiences different advantages. So it did not make me look different. I don't look younger. I haven't lost any wrinkles. My skin is not more glowing. I look the same fucking way I did. Bony, gray, wrinkled, right? But I had other advantages that they talk about, right? Like I had the euphoria and all that. So everybody has got to experience different things.
But I am going to be your therapist right now. I'm going to go into the NPR voice.
Oh, I love the NPR. It's super sexy.
But Isabelle, let's talk about how you are talking about yourself.
Okay, I take it back.
How do you think about my American wrinkles right now? No, but I want to be serious for a moment. Right. You are thin.
No, that I know.
You are, but bony is the wrong word.
Oh, got it.
You are perfectly proportioned to the rest of your body.
Thank you very much.
You have the most glorious, smooth skin.
Thank you very much.
Beautiful, glowing.
I will put you in a bottle, put a cap, put some gas, and drink you tomorrow.
Listen, I tell you this. I tell a lot of my friends this. I was like, if you need to fucking pick me up, give me a call.
That's right.
I will tell you that you are fucking fabulous any day you need to hear it.
But I like the self-deprecation. That's my signature.
But listen, and you have that personality, and banter is great. I spent so much of my life.
Hating yourself. That's why you're
Hating
against it. Right.
myself.
Right. So you're
I
sensitive
look
to
in the
that.
mirror and I'm like, you're too freckly, you're too short, you're too fat,
So you're
your hair's
sensitive
too
to
red.
that.
So when I hear other people, and I now, I'm like, if I saw little Maxine saying those things to
You'd be,
her,
I'm so sorry.
I'd be like, why are you speaking to yourself
Right.
that way? That is so terrible.
Right.
Now, there was a lot of it came internally from me. A lot of it fucking came from the outside.
Yes.
From society, from people who judge you. Like, people in America still don't believe when I tell them the abuse you get in my country for being a freckly redhead.
It's so strange, right?
It is goddamn ridiculous.
Wow.
And what I love, like, I go to this amazing hairdresser in New York City, and when I walk out and I'm standing at a crosswalk, I swear to you, it has probably happened a dozen times in my life, where an absolute stranger will just say to me while we're waiting to cross the street, your hair is fucking amazing.
Absolutely.
And I look to them and I just go, thank you. And I'm like, the little girl in me that was called Carrot Top, Duracell, Copperhead, Minger, Ginger, Ginger, da-da-da-da, all of that abuse that you get. And of course, you know, it's like, it's tongue in cheek, but it's funny.
Yeah,
it's not
but it's
funny if you're on the
No,
receiving end of it your
correct.
whole life.
Right.
And then you look in the mirror and you think, wow, is that what people see? And now it's like, yeah, my God, my hair is like my identifier. You
Right.
can see me a mile away.
And here we love a good redhead.
And it's amazing. My mother-in-law, I feel like there can't be an episode where I don't talk about her. She's so humble.
I can't wait to meet her.
She's so humble, though. She's like, oh my God, you really build me up. And I'm like, I'm just telling facts, lady. But when I was pregnant with Rebecca, she was like, goodness, I do hope she's a redhead. I'm like, do you know in Ireland,
Right.
when I was pregnant for the first time, this girl that I know said, are you praying she's not going to be foxy?
Foxy?
That's what they call a redhead.
Really?
Foxy.
And here
I'm like,
Foxy's
no.
cool.
First of all, she's saying that to me as a redhead.
Oh
I'm
my
like, do you hear any of
God.
what you're saying?
People are
You're offending my
weird.
unborn child and me at the same time.
And you wonder why we were drinking so much. What? There's the answer. That is the answer. All this fucking abuse.
Meanwhile, my daughter does not have red hair. My children don't have red hair because it is a recessive gene and there is zero
But by
red
the
hair
way,
on
it's
my husband's
funny,
side.
like the looks and alcohol. Like I have this really funny story. Some people would say it's sad, but I think it's funny as shit. Not so sad, but you know, yes, I also come from a culture. French Canadians are, I think, like French people, very, very centered on women's look.
Yes.
Maybe less
Yes.
now because, you know, like everything, immigration and stuff. There's the
I mean,
fabric
not that much less. It's still
the fabric of our
prevalent.
culture has
Yes.
changed. But when I was growing up there and it was still primarily like white Catholic French Canadian, it's
yep.
very, very, very centered. Like, you know, you it's okay if you're a dumbass, but you better be good looking.
Yes.
And so, I mean, the amount of stories I have, one of which I was going back to Montreal when my parents are still living downtown, and I hadn't seen my mom like maybe a month and a half, and I was 40. I'll never forget that. And I went out partying either with my sister, and by the way, my sister has a very, very important career in Canada.
I'm
That's
obsessed
very,
with your sister.
Very
I
public.
hope she watches the podcast.
Yes, I hope so too. So, by the way, for those who listens and might know her, she would never drink like I did. She was there for support,
Okay.
right?
Okay, great. I
Wait,
love her.
wait,
I
no,
just
no,
started
of course.
following her on social media and I'm like, okay.
Oh my God,
I'm obsessed with
I go to
your
my
sister.
dentist the other day and she's like, your sister's so pretty. And I'm like, fuck off.
No, but
like,
she's
come
fabulous.
on.
She's
I
just
know-
fabulous. But
She
you're also
is.
fabulous. You're
No,
a
no.
different fabulous.
Yeah. My sister looks like Farrah Fawcett before
Yes.
Farrah Fawcett
Yeah,
went crazy.
she does look like
She
Farrah
really
Fawcett.
does.
Yeah.
Except she's
Everybody
like
is
super
now
smart.
Googling Isabelle Laurier's sister.
I know. She's married and she's my sister, so fuck off. Pause off, everybody. Anywho, so my sister and I probably went out, and not probably, I remember, we partied the night before. I drank too much. I wake up the next day. I haven't seen my parents in a month and a half. You'd think my first thing out of my mom's mouth would be like, oh my God, I missed you so much. But so I get to the breakfast table and I'm like, oh man, I just woke up. Like I'm still like, oh, fuck, my teeth are stuck to the top of my sinuses, like I'm so hungover. So I sit there and I'm like, like I was hurting. I remember that day like it was yesterday. My mom looks at me
Oh God.
and I'm like, what? And she's like, huh? Do you use eye cream right here? I was like, she's like, you're starting little wrinkles, you're 40. And I was like, I remember I said, you must be fucking kidding me? Like in French.
Yes.
I was like, yeah, but she's
Which,
like,
of
no.
course, it sounds so much better
I'm
in French.
like, I was like, you haven't seen me in a month and a half. I'm hungover. I'm 40 fucking years old. It's 7:30. She's like, I'm just saying it's for your own good. Like, but that was the first thing in her mouth. Like, are you using,
Yeah. And that's the thing. It sets you up to be judging yourself all the time.
Yes.
And now, I kid you not, I often, in the last year, talk to myself in the mirror. Like
You do?
I do. And I'm like,
What'd you say?
I say, you are fucking crushing it. You look amazing. You are, look, it's so empowering and powerful to tell yourself that. And I know, like, the Irish culture that I was brought up in, they're like, she's lost her fucking mind.
But I
She's
think
telling herself she's fabulous in the mirror. She's
but
ready
good
for
for
an
you.
institution. But if you don't, you've got to tell
But
yourself
you're right. I think we both have the same malady, but taking a different approach. You've taken the approach of bringing yourself up. Like you're like, no,
Yes.
I am fabulous. And I'm self-deprecating, but my defense mechanism, and I've just realized that this for the first time, is I'll be like, I don't give a fuck.
Yes, yes.
So that's been my defense mechanism.
yes.
Like really, like I'm like, I need to slough this shit off.
Yeah.
Right. So unlike you, I'm not gonna be like, oh my God, I'm so beautiful. I'm like, this is what you get. This is what I am. I have to accept it. Fuck it. That's my attitude.
Okay.
But it evens out to the same result.
Yeah, yeah.
Same result.
I'm still going to be
different
the person
approach.
in your ear for as long as I can be, telling you that you are fabulous
All
and
right,
hot and gorgeous.
You can do that.
Yes.
And if someone comes to you and say they don't like your outfit, I can punch their mouth off and tell them to go fuck themselves.
Yeah.
Like Maya Sek the other day told me you look old. Hey, Maya Sek, if you're listening, I'm coming for you.
Oh my gosh. No, he's going to be our lawyer on this whole thing. So
sorry, Maya
sorry, we
Sek,
love
I
you.
take
We
it
love you, Ryan.
back.
Actually, and I love our friend Kate, Brian's
Oh, I love
wife.
Kate.
She gave me a key ring for my birthday this year that I look at multiple times a day. I mean, we live in Vermont, so we don't lock our cars. But,
nor our houses, nor anything.
We need to stop talking about that.
Of course. And don't come to Vermont.
Don't
It
come.
is cold.
Don't come.
People are mean. Don't come
It's
here.
too cold for most people.
Yeah, it's cold.
But she gave me this key ring that says Queen of fucking everything.
That's great.
And it's like one of those, and then a friend of mine came to my house for dinner the other night and she brought me a candle, and it's this Tom Ford candle. I'm like, okay, so I love you because it was in this gorgeous box with a bow and everything. And I opened it and the candle literally says fucking fabulous. Or you're fucking fabulous.
Right, that's
and
great.
I'm like, so we just, it's women lifting up women, people lifting up people. More of it needs to happen.
Yes.
But when you are how we are feeling right now, so fucking good about ourselves.
Right. It's easier.
It's easier.
Yes.
It is easier. That's the roller coaster of beating yourself up. I remember looking myself in the mirror on a day that I was hungover,
bloated and
saying, you look
hungover.
gross, you look wrinkled, you look puffy, you are a disaster for drinking too much last night for the umpteenth time in your life. That person is gone.
Right.
That like alter ego awful person is gone.
I never beat my, like, it's funny. In a lot of the quit lit, you see that people waking up the next day beating themselves up.
Oh, I beat myself up
I
so
did.
bad.
I would look at myself and just be like, who is this? Right. And then just like, move on. Like I didn't beat myself up, and then I would just keep on drinking and not think about it.
Yeah.
Right. But speaking of which, you wanted to also discuss friendships. And we're kind of talking about that with the New Year's Eve, when we're talking about we're friends to one another and our friends can lift us up and they can also destroy us. And you were bringing on our New Year's Eve is a time to celebrate our friends and the friends in our life. And as a matter of fact, and I don't know if that's a good segue for that, but I was telling you the other day that not drinking has actually made me a new friend in town. The fact that I brought that I was drinking non-alcoholic booze, made me meet somebody. So I was at Ildeen, which is a really fabulous place. For those who don't know, it's a historical landmark house and hundreds of acres and whatever. And they
beautiful.
were gorgeous. And they have a store and they were having a sip and shop. Now, if I hear sip and I hear shop, I'm there.
Yes.
So obviously I went, and I went 2 years ago, I was drinking. Obviously this time I wasn't. And so, but I brought my poison. I need to have wine. I don't want to drink
soda
stuff.
Yeah.
So I brought my own wine, and my husband is so sweet because I bring like what looks like a purse, but it's not. And I stick my bottle in it. And by the way, the sip part is free at Ildeen, right? So, but I'm walking around and So I look like I'm drinking wine, but whenever I think someone's not looking behind like a kiosk with decorations, I'm pouring myself some non-alcoholic wine because I don't want to look like a weirdo. First, I was like, I'm going to look cheap. And then I realized no, because it's free.
Yeah.
So then they're going to think she's fucking crazy or she's a snob. I'm guilty of the later, but the crazy, well, maybe that too. So anywho, but as I'm pouring myself wine, some guy is like, oh, I don't want to talk. He's like, what's going on there? And some guy saw me, right? I'm like, oh, so I felt like, I was like, I'm so sorry. And he's across like decoration. I was like, no, it's not what it looks like. I don't drink and I wanted wine. This is non-alcoholic. And he's like giving me like the kind of wink, wink.
Yeah.
So I was like, I don't know this guy, fuck it. So I keep walking. He came over, really nice guy. He starts shutting me and Brooks up. He's like, can I ask you what you're drinking? So I tell him, oh, it's non-alcoholic wine. I didn't feel like drinking toast, which is a proxy, which is delicious, but I wanted a wine.
Yeah.
So I brought my own, and he was like, whoa, that's really smart. He's like, I want to open a wine bar in town. He's from New York. They moved in Dorset. They want to open a wine bar in Manchester. And he's
that
like, I want to make sure that it's got a lot of NA wine. Can I taste it? Fuck yeah. So I gave him some wine. Next thing we know, we're talking for a half hour. I didn't know you could bump your information to someone. I'm so old. This guy's my age, but he bumped me his info, texted me the next day. Dude, there's definitely, we need to get together with my wife and your husband, bring your NA stuff. We're going to have a fire. And they're looking for a locale in town to have this wine bar. So I would have never met him and his wife had I been on the sauce.
Right. I mean, look how you and I met.
That's right.
I mean, we met because our mutual friend was like, wow, both of my favorite wine drinkers are no longer drinking wine.
Have you met people because you were drinking? I've met people while I was drinking, obviously, but did you ever meet people because you were drinking?
I mean, so many people.
Because you were
because I would suddenly want to chat to someone that normally I wouldn't talk to. Or wouldn't, because I think it gives you that.
Do you feel that you can still do that?
I think most of those people that I would talk to randomly at an airport bar.
Oh,
do you know what I mean?
Not friends, not people you keep.
Oh, no. I mean, I've bonded with a lot of people over wine because I've been a wine collector for so much of my life.
Right.
But I am meeting more and more people now, new friends, when they hear I'm not drinking, they're like, oh, I don't drink either. And that's it's a different connection. Hildine, for example, we know all the people there. We just need to say next sip and shop, folks. We need a non-alcoholic wine selection.
Right. They did have a proxy, which is good, but I felt like wine.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
But it would be great.
Yeah.
I feel like we need to wrap up this episode.
All right. And we're
while we
wrapping up the bottle.
finish our bottle of French Bloom. So listen, cheers, my love. Our friendship is just a testament to new friends with new shared interests.
Right.
Let it be non-alcoholic French Bloom and all the other things.
And I also think that we do attract new friends, sorry to interrupt, when you don't drink alcohol, because by just saying I've stopped drinking, you're admitting of imperfections.
Yeah.
Right? That you had to quit something because maybe it wasn't good for you or went down the wrong.
Or I think the way I look at it is I have a lot of self-awareness now at this point in my life.
Right.
Where I'm like, I am aware now that alcohol is bad for me.
Right.
So I've stopped drinking it. And a lot of the women I have yet to meet a new male non-drinking friend.
Right.
But I have met a lot of women. And I think one of the big things that you share, I have noticed, is that self-awareness and health awareness.
Right.
And that you've put that as a major priority. And this is a decision when we are all making decisions constantly for other people that involve other people that are about life and work and family. This was 100% a decision for me.
For ourselves. Correct. Well,
Cheers to that,
man.
I love you, friend.
I love you
Here's
too.
to 2026. Thank you, everybody, for listening.
Happy New Year.
And we want to hear from you. So tell us your New Year's Eve stories, your great ones, your nightmare train wreck ones. Please follow along, happyafpodcast.com. We are building this fantastic community. We are so happy to have you on the journey with us. I'm Maxine.
I'm Isabelle.
Happy alcohol free.
Happy as fuck.
Love you.
Bye.
Mwah.